Okay, now we're going to talk, this is module 3, which is triceps. Well, we're going to actually do module 3, we're going to do both the bicep and the tricep. I think it makes more sense, okay? So we're going to talk about the tricep first, okay? So where does it attach? It attaches right by the other upper arm and by the elbow. And it was put on your body to help you extend your elbow, okay? So in order to, now we know what the muscle, where it attaches, where it inserts, and what its motion is. We're now going to add resistance to that muscle's motion. One of the best exercises is a cable pushdown, which Steve will demonstrate. One thing I'm going to point out is that watch his elbows. All they do is flex. The elbow does not move forward and backward, because if the elbow moves forward or backward, what moved it? The shoulder. Notice also his traps are not elevated. You'll see a lot of people elevate their traps. He comes up nice and slow, and see how he comes up? Now you see right there, his tricep stops contracting. Right at the top there. And he contracts at the bottom. Most people do not contract the tricep at the bottom. Again, 3 parts of the rep. Concentric, P contraction, eccentric. Notice his thumbs are over the top. His traps are not elevated. His spine is stable. Knees are slightly bent. Phenomenal exercise for the triceps. And going to absolute muscular failure, which unfortunately most people don't. Good, Steve. Okay, there are 2 other exercises for the tricep that I feel are good. One is a dumbbell tricep extension. Okay? We talked about earlier, and I'll bring it up again, a lot of people will do a dumbbell kickback. Again, we talked about what the tricep, where it is, where it inserts, where it attaches, its muscles motion, help to extend the elbow, and you want to have resistance. But the question is, are you directly opposing resistance with a dumbbell kickback? As we know, dumbbell here, what's our resistance? Gravity is going to pull the arm down. Now, you have no resistance on the tricep here whatsoever. Where you have maximum resistance is right here. And as you come down, it's less and less and less. If you want to do this movement, just lay down. And you can directly oppose resistance with a dumbbell, which he will show you. Now, in addition, to put your body in even a better position, what we're going to do is we're going to put a plate underneath there, a slight decline, so you cause more resistance to the tricep. So notice Steve's, now watch, his elbow is just flexed. It's not going to move forward or back. You'll see a lot of people move their elbows forward and back as they flex the elbow. And notice how he's actually not coming, the dumbbell's not coming forward. It's actually going back. Again, contracts that tricep at the top. Comes all the way down, all the way up. So he's opposing resistance throughout the entire arc of the motion. And see how his shoulders are slightly back, but they don't move? That's causing more resistance. Now if he moves his elbows, he can move them forward. Move your elbows forward now. And now do a tricep extension. You actually, it's closer to the body, so you can actually be stronger. So here's a trick. As you're failing, bring your elbows forward, start over, and you can do more repetitions before you hit absolute muscular failure. Good, Steve. The last exercise, again, it's the same thing. It's elbow extension. We showed it in a push down. We showed it in a dumbbell extension. And now we're going to do a cable extension. So now the resistance is coming from a weight stack and the cable. So he's going to have resistance throughout the entire arc of motion. Notice his body is bent over. See his elbow is high. And now he's contracting that tricep. Incredible amount of tension is being put on that tricep right now. His body is stable. I would not suggest this for anybody who does have any real spinal problems, because most people's erectors are not strong and they may have some back problems. But there are other exercises that we showed you earlier. But this is a truly, truly effective exercise. Notice his elbow is high, which causes so much more tension in that tricep. Beautiful, Steve. Good. Okay, the other part of module 3 is going to be biceps. Again, tricep, what? It's put on your body to what? You have to extend the elbow. The bicep was put on your body to flex the elbow. And again, it inserts right at the elbow, right here, and right at the upper arm. And its fiber direction is vertical. And you do what's called elbow flexion. But the key here is with elbow flexion is not to move the elbow forward or backwards. A lot of people think they need to come up higher to get a peak contraction. So I'm going to show you here. As I curl my arm up, right here, my bicep is contracted fully. If I move my elbow forward, am I contracting the bicep anymore? No. What's moving it is the anterior delta or the shoulder. Again, where you start is where you stay. Okay? Directly opposing resistance. Right here, and come all the way down. All right, so Steve's going to demonstrate a simple dumbbell curl. Now, before he does, let me explain something, okay? How should each person curl? Everybody, when they do a dumbbell curl, is going to look different because we all have different carrying angles. So all I would ask you to do is to stand straight and just turn your arms out like you would carry packages, and that's how you curl. Everybody's carrying angle is different because anatomically we're totally different. Okay, notice his elbow does not move forward or backward. His wrist is not moving either. The only thing that is moving, that is flexing, is his elbow. It's elbow flexion. His chest is up nice and high. No other part of his body is moving whatsoever. He's coming down almost to full extension, but not quite. Because then resistance is taken off the bicep muscle and it's really put on the tendon at the end. Notice his scapula is retracted slightly. This way his shoulder does not move whatsoever. Good, Steve. Perfect. All right, so he showed you the dumbbell curl. Now, there are different ways to work the bicep, okay? It's still a curl. Now, let me explain to you that everybody does different curls so they think they're going to work a different part of the bicep. And what is it? This goes across to every muscle. The muscle itself contracts fully or it doesn't contract at all. I need you to understand that. When you do a curl, that bicep is contracting fully. You're not contracting a different part of the bicep by doing a exercise in a certain way. But based on the way you put your shoulder to position, okay, you can build a different level of tension, meaning a higher level of tension in an upper part of the bicep based on the way the shoulder is positioned. But still that bicep is contracting fully. You cannot build a peak in a bicep as people think by doing a certain act. Either you have a peak or you don't. That is genetic. So there's another exercise that I really like a lot because your shoulder is now in a different position. I don't want someone to do two different bicep exercises that actually mimic exactly the same. So you put the shoulder in a different position. And he's going to do a concentration curl, which I'm sure everybody's heard of. The way that we suggest doing this concentration curl is a lot of people will put their elbow against their knee. And the force then, where is the force going? Into your knee and not into the bicep. So you should have your arm basically in space and then flex it without moving it forward and back, which Steve will demonstrate. Notice his elbow is in space. It's not pressing against his thigh or his knee where all the force would go through. Now his shoulder is now in a different position than it was when he was doing the dumbbell curl, so there's a different level of tension being built. In the lower part of the bicep, just a little bit more tension, but that bicep is contracting fully. You see by the position, see how much more tension is going to be at the bottom based on the shoulder position. Notice the wrist is not moving, come up and he contracts that muscle and recruits as many fibers, and the eccentric coming down causes a lot more muscle damage. Good, Steve.